Ninder Gugwani. Have I pronounced it correct, sir? No. Gugwanvi. Okay. Ludhianvi and Gugwanvi. I was actually telling my assistant director, pronounce this for me actually. Sorry, sir, on that. Okay? Pronounce this for me actually. Sorry, sir, on that. Okay? So I'd like to start this show by actually calling G. Please. Thank you. Afan Bhai, if you can also please come. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Ma'am, please. I'll do the last. Thank you so much, sir. Where's the man? A very big thank you to Riders, Rivers Press, Afan, who's actually given the book to Mr. Jabinderjeet. Thank you so much. We can take the... Nisha, let's get the show on, please.
वो लड़का बैठा उसकी लिंक लेगा
Lord Shiva, an embodiment of male and female energies, who in his dual state is called Ardhanarishvara. We have believed in dharma, ahimsa, reincarnation, and a belief in each one's inherent divinity. The goal is to conclude the journey to the divine self, the Atman, which is without gender, yet embodies male and female, as well as the third other. One has to acknowledge, nurture the male and female within the self. In quest for integration and transcendence, today we take you to a journey of realization, the inner struggles, the outer challenges, the acceptance, and the becoming. I am the voice of divine feminine, inherently present in each one of us. I often see, with open and closed eyes, the walks we had, hand in hand, fingers entwined, on the crunchy bed of pine needles, in the cozy wilderness of woods. And I still hear the echo of our silent conversations. My tender heart took all the toll. You, she, her, they, and all. Few streamed it with life, others love to chore, squeezed it like a snake crushes its prey in its coil. I sauntered from here to there. I knocked on this or that door in search of my bliss. Some doors did not open, nor anyone answered. Some opened, abused, and threw me out. Some listened with sympathy, but offered me a little. A few called me in and provided what I sought. But the stay inside was always temporary, for I had to come out again in quest of the bliss, my own bliss. human struggles, caged in the square circle of glass walls, longing to come out, crying for a way, a window or a door or even a small crack, to sneak out and live, unaware that one has to break free to live. When life becomes a burden and the pain difficult to hide, I do at some times thought of suicide. Some in amazement won't believe their ears. Some will shed one or two tears. The dear ones will fall in deep grief, mourning over my life that was brief. But alas, I can't do it only because of you, as it would part you into two. You will hold yourself responsible for the crime and repent at deserting me when our love was in prime. It will break your heart and make you sad, believing your decision was worse than bad. Feel all your life guilty of committing a sin. But this is not what my act was meant to mean. For I could not see you in tears as long as I had breath. How can I be so small and hollow to allow it to happen after my death? Together we felt the elements, the warm sun, drenched under the rain. Life and joy developed through us. We accepted our fate without a fuss. Cruel nature destined our misery. So close, yet so far, together and yet apart. We can look at each other, we can smile, we can talk. You can't move an inch towards me, and nor can I. I want a hug, you say. It would be too brave, but your sweet embrace is all that I crave. We stand there waiting for centuries, for the earth to move, the skies to open, or the apocalypse to strike once and for all, so that in each other's lap we can fall. We curse nature and call the Creator brute. Then He sent a gush of stream. The sands moved, heavens melt, and there below the surface we met. The dance of love. I breathe in you and you in me, and that is how it had to be. Love that the world had forbidden flourished underneath, secret and hidden. Nature in its kindness quietly connected our roots, and from the union a new sapling of love sprouts. Lord Shiva, an embodiment of male and female.
What a mesmerizing performance. You, Varun, you left all of us mesmerized with your wonderful performance. Don't we deserve yet another big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen? Thank you so much for gracing us with your presence and to witness this unique performed poetry to mark the launch of an English poetry book, Silent Conversations, written by Mr. Dipinderjeet Singh. Many thanks to our respected chief guest, senior IAS officer, Dr. Sumita Misraji, and our guest of honor, Mr. Ninda Gugyanbiji. I pronounced it right.
Thank you so much.
And Mr. Vivek Atrey, another guest of honor for today's evening, who is an ex-IAS officer and a motivational speaker also. Now, first of all, I would like to introduce to all of you Mr. Varun Khanna, whose performance you just seen. Varun Khanna, a dentist by education, a photographer, and a passionate Bharatanatyam dancer, learned the basics under Chandigarh's own Suchitra Mitraji starting in 2018, followed by fulfilling his long-awaited dream to become a professional artist under the living legend, Padma Bhushan awardee, Guru Saroja Vaidyanathan and Mrs. Rama Vaidyanathan at Ganesha Natyalaya, New Delhi. He has also performed at the International Dance Festival, Armenia, Europe. Now I would like to invite on the stage Mr. Dipinderjeet Singh, the writer of the book Silent Conversations. Dipinderjeet Singh ji is a special correspondent with the Tribune who specializes in crime reporting. He shot into international fame when he praised Shaheed Bhagat Singh's pistol, with which the great martyr had killed a British police officer in 1928. The pistol was missing for 85 years. He penned down the journey in a book titled Discovery of Bhagat Singh's Pistol and His Ahimsa. He has also co-authored Justice for Jussi. Silent Conversations is his fourth book. He has also won Prem Bhatia Young Journalist Award in 2005 and he is also a 5-rated chess player. Now I would like to invite on the stage the director of the performance you just watched. She is also the founder director of the Narrators Performing Arts Society India, Mrs. Nisha Luthra ji. Now I would like to invite on the stage Mr. Afan Yasui, who is a social activist, columnist, author and publisher with the Rivers Group, of which Rivers Press is a branch. He has been a regular contributor to esteemed publications. He has written prolifically on social issues and tenaciously supported the cause of women empowerment. He is the editor-in-chief of the biannual magazine Vajt and the director of the Rivers. Now I would like to ask a few questions to our guests on the stage. I would like to start with Dipinderjeet Singh ji. Sir, how did you feel when you were watching your poetry being performed on the stage?
Yeah. One. Hello. Hello. Yeah. Last time also he kept the mic with him. So I am totally speechless. Nisha ji, it's, this is such a, I don't know what to say, but she kept the performance from me. I was not allowed to see it, and it is amazing. It's not just poetry in motion, like Deepak ji said, poetry in life, but it is some other thing. Like Varun has taken it so beyond, and thanks to you directed it, and I think words will come to me, and it would be appropriate that I pen down what I have felt. Thank you.
Nisha ma'am, I would like to ask you, how did this idea to take the poetry from the book to the stage come to your mind, and what made you pick up these selective poems from the book?
Thank you, Rajan. First of all, a very warm welcome, namaskar to all of you to be here. It's ethereal to see the live energy of the audience in the auditorium. Thank you so much for being here. And I'm not going to ask you this question, which I have been asking on the virtual session. Am I audible? Am I visible to you? Thank you so much that I can also see you this time. And वहाँ से लाइट जहाँ से ऑपरेट हो रही थी वहाँ से नीचे आते हुए एक दो पंक्तियाँ दिमाग में चल रही थी कि जी भर के देखा आज जब उसे तो ये एहसास हुआ, जी भर के देखा आज उसे तो ये एहसास हुआ कि आज ये आम सा दिन कैसे कैसे इतना खास हुआ. थैंक यू सो मच हमारा आम सा दिन इतना खास बनाने के लिए. थैंक यू सो मच. Now coming back to your question, Rajan, basically I would like to share a short story that me and Deepak, whenever we go on a highway, my husband Deepak, and whenever he's driving, he's a chauffeur and I am the one who's entertaining him like a DJ. So I have to always play the music. So this time around, my staff gave me this printout of the poems that I had to read, but I couldn't find the time. And that day I could find those PDF files in my bag, and I just took it out. And I started reading on the way to Delhi. And Deepak said, it's been 1 hour, come on, there's no music, I'm getting bored. I said, I can't just put these down. He said, what is it? I said, a crime reporter writing so beautifully. And it was all the internal experiences that he jotted down on the paper. Every time I picked up a poem, it had different shades to it. It had romanticism, it had tonal lyricism, it had a political satire. If he was talking about nature, he was also talking about the neglect of nature by mankind. So there were so many shades to it, and I had so many innumerable imageries in my mind when I read those piece of poems. So I came back and I told him, Jubinder, you must publish it. He said, but I don't have time, I have a deadline for a book and I can't design it and I know what to do with it. So I said, don't worry, I have a publisher who can do it in 10 days. And that is Afan Yesri here. Yes, this book has been designed and printed in 10 days. And and what sealed the deal for me was that since I am a romantic at heart, he told me, look, this is a surprise for my wife. She has painted a painting and that has to be the cover of my book. And that just did it all to me. And I went back to the way and said, look, learn from him. So this is, yes, this is what happened. And this is the cover, yes, beautiful cover by Kanchan. So beautiful done. So we could have just picked up love poems because this book is beautifully full of love and unrequited love and pain that we all go through, internal and external struggles that we all go through. But I did it earlier. I did it with Archana ma'am's Kavita To Kahi Nahi book. We did it, I think just this year, we did the performed poetry on that. So I thought that this time we should do something else. So we picked up 6 poems which were talking about caged life. You know, searching your own self. The narrative was the subconscious,
the subconscious was talking to the protagonist about the invisible chains that we all go through on an everyday basis. The ropes were used to show the age-old beliefs that we cannot just go off. And all this power and the imagery you see is because of the words that he had written. So, without words there is no language, and without language there is no word. So thank you so much for inspiring us with your words that we could do something like that. Thank you, Raj. It was quite a lot.
Thank you, ma'am. Now coming to you, Afanji. What special did you find about this book, about this poetry, which made you or inspired you to publish it?
First of all, Assalamu alaikum, adab. A warm welcome to every one of you, and thank you for coming. I would also like to thank Dr. Sumita Mishra ji, Chairperson of CLS and Additional Chief Secretary of Agriculture Production Department, Haryana Government, Mr. Vivek Atrey sahab. Thank you. This book has been very close to us because Nisha ji gave us the script and I passed it on to my proofreading team, because we have to do that. There is also a lot of plagiarism. And they were very happy, and we came up with, I think, 2 titles. One was Dawn Words and another one was Silent Conversation. Then the Silent Conversation clicked. And then ma'am also told me that we should put some kind of design in it. So we took 3 to 4 days. I think within 5 days we were ready with the book, and 3-4 more days. Within 7th day the book actually came here to Chandigarh. We were very happy to do it. I would also like to inform that I am basically from the background of publishing. I have been publishing poetry books, publishing magazines, but during pandemic we have seen that there have been a lot of people who have been writing poetry to us. But my genre was Sufism and mysticism, and we run a magazine under that. So we had to come up with a new brand, we had to come up with a new portal. So the Rivers has 3 ventures, rivers.in.com and .net, in which we have the poetry, short stories, then we have also book reviews, all in Hindi, Urdu and English languages. And then there are a lot of poets who came to us, okay, please publish our book. So we have started this venture and we are looking forward to serve more of you, because I believe that in these modern days, very less people have started, there are very less people who actually try to express what is inside them. Otherwise, मुझे किसी को text करना ना, BRB, ITC, short points. So we need people like him who actually put words, who actually put emotions, and we are there to help them in print. Thank you.
Thank you. Yet another question to you, Chandrajit ji. You are an investigative journalist. Then what inspired you to write this book based on love poetry?
Well, life in itself is an inspiration. So as long as we are alive, we have so many stories to experience and tell. Journalism has happened. Journalism has shown me the good side of society and the dark valley of the society. And not all can be written in the news columns. A lot of things, the residuals are with you. And you go to a crime spot and you see. So you don't come home and write a poem about it, but you have something is on the back of your mind. There's some heaviness, some imprint, something is there, and some fine day you will find words for that. And otherwise also a lot of I'm writing these poems since it was pronounced as poems. Now we have American pronunciation. So tomorrow we will have Chinese, so even the M will go silent or something, or maybe P goes silent. So pardon me for that. And So I have been writing since class 9 when I wrote a love letter to my Hindi teacher, and I suffered some serious side effects because of that. But I became quite popular with my friends and it stayed. So I was the go-to guy for writing love letters and poems. So some of those are in this book. And what happened to the love letters is a different story. My friends said, we are not coming, you will tell about our life also. One poem I will point out, which is I Bleed, which is the first poem. And I have been writing extensively about Jassi murder case, the Canadian-born Indian girl who was killed because she dared to choose her own husband. And she was murdered at the behest of her mother. It was an honor killing, and it had disturbed me very deeply. When Nirbhaya incident happened, that pain came out. And so I Bleed is a poem on the suffering and pain of a woman at the hands of men. When she's forced and she goes through a brutal experience. The physical pain, the body pain is nothing for the pain of the soul. So all poems are basically written around pain and joy and some moments, some memories. That's it.
I wish I could ask a question to myself. Thank you so much, Nisha ma'am. Now I would like to introduce our team to the audience.
Yes, first you have to take the chairs.
Sure.
We have a team.
Yes.
So, to have a performance like this, which was 18 minutes performance, there's a village that we need to support something like this. So first of all, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite on stage Varun Khanna. Varun, please come on stage. I would like to share his story. Varun has just lost his father, May 2021, to Corona. And for 7-8 days of rehearsals, I was watching him and no emotion was coming on his face. It is such a beautiful poetry. There's flute, there is sitar, there is tanpura, but there was absolutely no emotion in his eyes. 8th day, we were having tea between the rehearsals and I asked him that these days, this young generation, they don't know how to emote. They're not sensitive. I mean, how can you listen to such beautiful, sensitive poetry and you don't have, tears in your eyes? Why? He said, I have shielded myself, ma'am. I have big walls around my heart because I have seen my father going. He went inside and he never came back. I said, where is that rage? That must have really, really pained. And where is that rage? I need to see that emotion. So after that talk, after that conversation, I could see number of emotions coming on his face and his body language, and hence the performance. So he's changed his pain into this beautiful, beautiful performance. So moving on, this performance or anything what we do at Narrators cannot be completed without the backbone of Narrators, which is Mr. Deepak Luthra. Please come on stage, Mr. Luthra, because he is the one. Whenever I consume all my budget given to me by my poet, I always go to him. I don't have money. Please support. And he always comes in support. So Mr. Deepak Luthra, please come on the stage. Assistant Director, Mr. Rajan Bhateja. He is the Assistant Director. He has designed the sound. He was executing the sound. And he is the moderator. So, social media coordinators, Manika Chaudhary, Deepa Singh, please come inside. Come on the stage, please. Printing, Rajendra Singh. Prop managers, Ravi Kohar. Music was designed by Alpesh Moharir, who has a band in Mumbai. And what you thought as what sounded like sitar was guitar. And a 24-year-old was playing that guitar.
And that sounded like sitar, yes. Paintings by Anubhav Som, the Shiva and the Parvati symbolism. Where are you, Anubhav? Are you there? Oh, he's not here. Okay, so backstage managers Harry and Nandi, please come here. We could not have done it without you. Overall coordination, Nandini, Verma, Nikasha Luthra, please come on stage. My daughters, please come on stage. Video recording, Kalsi Video. We are right now live on all our channels. So this is the team. So let's take a bow, team. Let's take a bow. Hold hands, everyone. Nandini, come quickly. And let's take a bow. Thank you so much, team. Thank you so much. Thank you. So, Deepak, would you like to?
Hope you like the performance, actually. Thank you so much for actually coming. And now I'd like to actually invite the chief guests to actually come on stage and actually a few words. Well, apparently, just spill out your heart, actually. Let's put it this way. Of applause for our chief guest, Sumita Mishra.
Okay. Actually, good evening, everyone. Congratulations, Jupinder. Congratulations, Nisha, for a lovely performance. Congratulations for being the producer and publisher of this beautiful little
Only
book.
Publisher, please.
Okay.
Publisher and printer.
Actually, I feel that after such a performance, one doesn't really need to say anything, because the performance leaves you with so much visual and dramatic impact that you need some time, some quiet time to, I think, to just let it sink in, percolate inwards, and to savor and relive the parts that impacted you. But anyway, firstly, big congratulations to Jupinderjeet. Welcome to the growing tribe of poets. And I'm here today not because I work in the administration, but because I am a poet and I love to take out the time and support new poets or young poets or whoever it is. I congratulated him also, especially because it's very difficult to find a publisher for poetry. You need to be particularly brave. No publisher wants to touch poetry, so thank you for stepping up, and I hope all the closet poets here will think about taking advantage and maybe brushing up a few more poems. Coming to the book, it's deeply emotional. When I first started writing poetry, and like you, it was early on in school, and I first thought of publishing a book, and I told my mother about it, and then I gave her the manuscript. And she quoted me these lines of, I think it's Sumitra Nandan Pant, ki Viyogi hoga pehla kavi, aha se upja hoga gaan. And goes on. It's a very beautiful set of lines. So that, I was reminded of those lines when I read your book. Because, first book is essentially cathartic. You are essentially, first you have to recount your pain before you can move on to global pain and hunger and disease and and climate change. I mean, all those other things have to wait, because a poet feels that nobody ever felt the way I am feeling now. And that is what, you attempt to distill. And that is, if it's a good poem, what connects the poet to the reader. That uniqueness of vision, or that intensity of emotion is what reaches out and sort of grabs the reader's attention. So there's a lot of emotion, there's a lot of expression, and it's very honest and personal, I would say. So congratulations to you. And it shows that inside the investigative journalist, there's a very sensitive soul. And of course, but writing poems like this can be a bit dangerous in the lighter vein, because then people start wondering, ki ye wali kiske liye thi? No, but that one person might ask some very uncomfortable questions. But anyway, and I must congratulate Nisha ji. I was completely mesmerized. Your your vision, your direction, Varun, his execution, your voice as it rippled through the dark and led us through, to the journey that you had seen, and we saw because you were sort of taking us along that path. I think it was beautiful. So big congratulations to all of you. Thank you, everyone. I've spoken more than I thought I would, but thank you.
So I would like to thank ma'am and Vivek sir, Chima sir, everybody to be here, Lily ma'am, because we are all busy with CLS Literati. It's starting tomorrow morning, and they're all here organizing all that, which is going to happen for the next 2 days. So everybody is invited. On 12th, we are meeting at UT Guest House, so please be there. Yes, please.
I'll just take 2 minutes. The work with Sumita ma'am, Vivek Atrey ji, Chandpuri ji, Colonel Chima and all CLS members, they are actually the beacon of literature in our region. I have, the moment I started attending their sessions, you are filled with ideas and you are so inspired to write. My Bhagat Singh's book idea was at one of the literati functions only. Yeah, and so that a journalist can write his investigative journey into a book also. So Vivek Atrey ji, huge thanks to you. And Chandpuri ji, the ever smiling, is going to be the publisher of next edition of Bhagat Singh's book. And he was already, smiling with rosy cheeks because he was on Kapil Sharma show recently. And yeah, and I have so many people, friends here too. But, I won't make much time. But Manraj Garewal ji, she's the editor with Indian Express here. And she was on the desk when I joined as trainee journalist, and the way she looked at my copy, I knew my English was very bad. So, and my writing club guys are here, my family is here, my father-in-law who has like tons of stories with him and he doesn't write. So if you meet him, please tell him to write. And Ahan, thanks to you, Afan, I've always, mispronounced his name. I can at least see 10 manuscripts getting ready for you in the audience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Ninderji, we wouldn't be complete without your words. And Vivekji, I know you're a motivational speaker, an inspiration for me at least. Okay, a big inspiration. So we'll hear it from Ninder first and then on to Vivek.
ਜੁਪਿੰਦਰ ਹਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਬੋਲੂੰਗਾ ਤਾੜੀ ਮਾਰ ਦਿਓ ਜੁਪਿੰਦਰ ਤੇ ਕੰਚਨ ਇਹ ਦੋਵੇਂ ਹੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਚੰਗੇ ਆ ਦੋਵਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਪਿਆਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਇਹ ਹੁਣ ਕਵਿਤਾ ਲਿਖਦਾ ਤੇ ਕਵੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਘਰ ਵਾਲੀਆਂ ਤਾਂ ਰਹਿੰਦੀਆਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਭੱਜ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਤਾਂ ਪਰੇਸ਼ਾਨ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਹੀ ਤੇ ਅਸ਼ਕੇ ਜਾਈਏ ਕੰਚਨ ਦੇ ਭਾਈ ਮੈਂ ਸਲੂਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਭੈਣੇ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਾ ਕਵੀ ਤੋਂ ਤਾਂ ਮਤਲਬ ਬਾਹਰ ਵੀ ਸਿਰ ਖਾਣਾ ਘਰੇ ਵੀ ਸਿਰ ਖਾਣਾ ਤੇ ਪਿੱਟਣਾ ਸਿਆਪਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਹੀ ਹੈ ਪਰ ਉਹੀ ਦੱਸਦਾ ਜੁਪਿੰਦਰ ਨੂੰ ਨਾ ਮੈਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਪੁਰਾਣਾ ਜਾਣਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਭਾਸ਼ਾ ਵਿਭਾਗ ਪਟਿਆਲੇ ਸ਼ੇਰਾਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਗੇਟ ਗਾਰਡਨਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਮਾਲੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਫੁੱਲਾਂ ਬੂਟਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਗੁੱਡਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਲੈਂਗੁਏਜ ਡਿਪਾਰਟਮੈਂਟ 'ਚ ਉੱਥੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਦਫ਼ਤਰ ਸੀ ਇਹਨੇ ਵੇਖਣਾ ਮਾਲੀ ਫੁੱਲ ਬੂਟੇ ਗੁੱਡਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਮਾਲੀ ਰਾਈਟਰ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਤੋਂ 30-32 ਸਾਲਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਮਾਲੀ ਅਫਸਰ ਬਣ ਜੂਗਾ ਇਹਨੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਉਦੋਂ ਹੀ ਪਛਾਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਹਿਤਾ ਸੀ ਤੇਰੀ ਇਹ ਮੰਜ਼ਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਇਹ ਬੰਦਾ ਅੱਜ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਗੈਸਟ ਬਣਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਜੁਪਿੰਦਰ ਦੇਖੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰੇ ਸੂਝਵਾਨ ਚਾਂਦਪੁਰੀ ਜੀ ਬੈਠੇ ਆ ਅਤਰੇ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਬੜੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਖੇਤਰ ਦੀ ਪਰਸਨੈਲਿਟੀ ਹੈ ਮੈਡਮ ਮਿਸ਼ਰਾ ਬੜੇ ਸੀਨੀਅਰ IAS ਨੇ ਹਰਪ੍ਰੀਤ ਚੰਨੂ ਕਹਾਣੀਕਾਰ ਬੜੀਆਂ ਕਿਤਾਬਾਂ ਲਿਖੀਆਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਆਇਆ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕੰਜਰਾ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ 'ਚ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਗੋਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ 'ਚ ਫਸ ਗਿਆ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸਵਾਦ ਹੀ ਆ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਕਸਮ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਮੈਂ ਲੰਡਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਏਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਸੀ ਲੰਡਨ 'ਚ ਏਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਸੀ ਆ ਪੱਧਰ ਲੁਥਰਾ ਜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਮੁਬਾਰਕ, ਸਾਰੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਮੁਬਾਰਕ। ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਰਣਨ ਨੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਅੱਖਾਂ ਗੱਡ ਲੀਆਂ, ਸਾਹ ਰੋਕ ਲੈ। ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵਰਣਨ ਨੇ ਅਭਿਨੈ ਕੀਤਾ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਡੁੱਬ ਗਿਆ, ਉਹ ਡੁੱਬ ਗਿਆ, ਉਹ ਖੋ ਗਿਆ, ਉਹ ਗੁੰਮ ਗਿਆ। ਔਰ ਖਾਸ ਗੱਲ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪੀੜਾ, ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰੁਦਨ, ਇਹਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਹੈ ਸਾਇਲੈਂਟ ਕਨਵਰਸੇਸ਼ਨ। ਜੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਚ ਇਹਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਨੁਵਾਦ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ, ਅਨੁਵਾਦ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਾ ਇਹਦਾ, ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਂ ਹੋਊਗਾ ਖਾਮੋਸ਼ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ। ਉਹ ਖਾਮੋਸ਼ ਵੀ ਹੈ, ਗੱਲ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਯਾਨੀ ਚੁੱਪ ਵੀ ਹੈ, ਬੋਲ ਵੀ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਬੜੀ ਕਲਾਤਮਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ। ਉਹ ਕਲਾਕਾਰ ਡੁੱਬ ਗਿਆ। ਕਲਾਕਾਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਪਿਆਰਾ ਲੱਭਿਆ ਇਹ। ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਹਾਵ ਭਾਵ ਦੇ ਰਾਹੀਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬੋਲਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ। ਕਲਾਕਾਰ ਨੂੰ ਤੇ ਲੇਖਕ ਨੂੰ ਬੋਲਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਂਦੀ। ਉਹ ਆਪਣੀ ਅਭਿਵਿਅਕਤੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ, ਪੇਸ਼ਕਾਰੀ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਲਮ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਤੋ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹਦੀ ਨਾ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਵੱਡੀ ਖੂਬਸੂਰਤੀ ਹੈ ਦੋਸਤੋ, ਪੱਤਰਕਾਰੀ ਦੇ ਖੇਤਰ 'ਚ ਏਡੇ ਏਡੇ ਹਸਤਾਖਰ ਹੋਏ ਲਿਟਰੇਚਰ ਦੇ, ਪਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੱਤਰਕਾਰੀ ਸਿਉਂਕ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਖਾ ਗਈ, ਜਿਵੇਂ ਤਖਤਾ ਲੱਕੜ ਦਾ ਖਾ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਸਿਉਂਕ। ਸਾਹਿਤਕਾਰੀ ਖੁੱਸ ਗਈ, ਪੱਤਰਕਾਰੀ 'ਚ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹੇ, ਰਿਟਾਇਰ ਹੋ ਗਏ। ਹੁਣ ਆਪਦੀ ਸਵੈ ਜੀਵਨੀ ਲਿਖਣ ਬੈਠੇ। ਕੌਣ ਪੜ੍ਹਦਾ ਫਿਰ ਸਵੈ ਜੀਵਨੀਆਂ? ਜੱਗ ਜੇ ਆਉਂਦਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਮੇਲੇ ਆ। ਪੱਤਰਕਾਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਸਾਹਿਤਕਾਰ ਬਣਦਾ ਏ, ਇਹ ਸੋਨੇ ਤੇ ਸੁਹਾਗਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ। ਬੜੇ ਬੜੇ ਵੱਡੇ ਲਿਖਾਰੀ ਕਵੀ ਸੀ, ਵਾਰਤਕਾਰ, ਪ੍ਰੋਜ਼ ਲਿਖਦੇ ਸੀ, ਉਹ ਪੱਤਰਕਾਰ ਬਣ ਗਏ। ਪ੍ਰੋਜ਼ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਗਈ ਕਿਧਰੇ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਸ਼ਕੇ ਤੇਰੇ, ਤੇਰੀ ਪੱਤਰਕਾਰੀ, ਤੇਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਤਕਾਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਖਾਊਗੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾੜੀ। ਤੇਰੀ ਪੱਤਰਕਾਰੀ, ਤੇਰੀ ਸਾਹਿਤਕਾਰੀ ਨੂੰ ਤਾਕਤਵਰ ਕਰੂਗੀ। ਕਿਉਂ? ਕਿ ਜੋ ਤੇਰੇ ਜਜ਼ਬਾ ਹੈ, ਜਜ਼ਬਾਤ ਨੇ, ਸੰਵੇਦਨਾ ਹੈ, ਅਹਿਸਾਸ ਹੈ। ਔਰ ਤੇਰੀ 'ਚ ਇੱਕ ਖਾਸੀਅਤ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਦਾ, ਭਾਵੇਂ ਡੀਜੀਪੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਤੇ ਭਾਵੇਂ ਕਲਰਕ ਹੋਵੇ, ਤੇਰਾ ਓਨਾ ਹੀ ਕਲਰਕ ਨਾਲ ਪਿਆਰ ਹੈ, ਓਨਾ ਹੀ ਡੀਜੀਪੀ ਨਾਲ ਪਿਆਰ ਹੈ। ਬੜੇ ਲੰਮੇ ਸਾਲਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਜਾਂ ਇਵੇਂ ਕੰਚਨ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਤੂੰ ਮੇਰੇ ਬਾਰੇ 4 ਗੱਲਾਂ ਕਰਦੀ। ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਮੈਂ ਤੇਰਾ ਤਵਾ ਲਾ ਦੂੰ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਲੇਖਕਾਂ ਦਾ ਜਦੋਂ ਕਿਤਾਬ ਰਿਲੀਜ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਵਾਲੇ ਤਾਂ ਤਵਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ, ਤੇ ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤਵਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਲਾਉਣਾ। ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਸ ਨੇ ਵੇਖੋ ਭਗਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਤੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਨਾ ਕਿੱਡੇ ਹੈਰਾਨ ਹੋਵੋਗੇ, ਇਸ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਹੱਥ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਭਗਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਨੇ ਪਿਸਟਲ ਫੜਿਆ, ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਹੱਥਾਂ ਨੇ ਹੀ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਉਸ ਪਿਸਟਲ ਦੀ ਕਹਾਣੀ ਲਿਖੀ, ਔਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਹੱਥਾਂ ਨੇ ਹੀ ਅੱਜ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਰਚਨਾ ਕਵਿਤਾ ਦੇ ਰੂਪ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਹੈ, ਖਾਮੋਸ਼ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ। ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੱਥ ਹੈ, ਇਹ ਕਲਮ ਹੈ। ਧੰਨ ਲਿਖਾਰੀ ਨਾਨਕਾ ਜਿਨ ਨਾਮ ਲਿਖਾਇਆ ਸੱਚ, ਬਾਬਾ ਨਾਨਕ ਜੀ ਕਹਿ ਕੇ ਗਏ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਤੋ ਇੰਨੀਆਂ ਮੇਰੀਆਂ ਬੇਨਤੀਆਂ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਨ। ਇਹਦੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸ਼ੁਭ ਕਾਮਨਾਵਾਂ। ਔਰ ਦੋਸਤੋ, ਟੈਗੋਰ ਥੀਏਟਰ 'ਚ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਇਆ ਤੇ ਲੰਡਨ ਥੀਏਟਰ 'ਚ ਮੈਂ 7 ਵਾਰੀ ਗਿਆ। ਸਤਿ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ, ਜਿੰਦਾਬਾਦ।
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਨਿੰਦਰ ਜੀ। ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਨਾਮ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀ ਲਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਵਿੱਚ ਥੈਂਕਸ ਕਰਾਂਗਾ। ਸੋ ਨਿੰਦਰ ਜੀ ਨੇ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਦੱਸਿਆ, ਇਹ ਗਾਰਡਨਰ ਸੀਗੇ, ਮਾਲੀ ਸੀਗੇ ਭਾਸ਼ਾ ਵਿਭਾਗ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ। ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਪਰਮਿਸ਼ਨ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਨਿੰਦਰ ਜੀ ਨੇ 52 ਬੁੱਕਸ ਲਿਖੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਜਿਹੜੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਐਂਡ ਬਹੁਤ ਡੀਪ ਬੁੱਕਸ ਲਿਖੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਜਿਹੜੀ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਬੁੱਕ ਸੀ ਜੱਜ ਦਾ ਅਰਦਲੀ, ਉਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਮੈਂ ਇੰਡੀਅਨ ਐਕਸਪ੍ਰੈਸ ਦੇ ਪਟਿਆਲਾ ਨਿਊਜ਼ੀਲੈਂਡ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੁਝ ਥੋੜਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਸੀਗਾ। ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇੰਨੀ ਇੰਸਪੀਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਕੋਲੋਂ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਇਹ ਬੜੇ ਪ੍ਰਾਊਡ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਸਿਰਫ 8ਵੀਂ ਪਾਸ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਇਹ 10 PhD ਦੇ ਸਬਜੈਕਟ ਨੇ। ਸੋ ਇੰਨੀ ਵੱਡੀ ਇੰਸਪੀਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਮੇਰੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਬ ਦੀ ਬਲੇਸਿੰਗਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਹੈ। ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਫॉर ਕਮਿੰਗ ਨਿੰਦਰ ਜੀ।
सर, आप कपिल शर्मा शो में कब ले जा रहे हो उनको? A brilliant man. I must say, I must have to get your number, and actually we need to connect later. But thoda Punjabi mera heart tight hai. Please. Sir, now I would like to invite Mr. Vivek Atrey, a man of inspiration, personally to me, of course. A motivational speaker who needs to take the mic immediately. Take care of yourself, sir. Here is it.
Actually, I planned to take only 2 minutes, so everything that had to be said has been said. Actually, the audience is looking nicer than I thought from there. I really didn't see you, so kudos to all of you, looking good. Dr. Sumita Mishra and Nindarji have spoken very eloquently, and after listening to orators, really, I really don't know if I have anything to say, but I'd like to commend Nisha and Deepak. You brought in a different flavor to the city, and performed poetry is a great idea. I never thought of it. And poetry is not my genre anyway, so congratulations for that. And I think you'll find a lot more poets who are very happy to be performed on stage like this. And their work is apt, appropriate, and very much amenable. There are many in the hall as well. The second thing is that Jupinder is a very self-effacing kind of man. Nindarji, ohi jada tusi gal kiti, ohi main kar raha. And I think it's something that comes across as an asset. It's a quality. It's a strength that he has. Being so quiet and being so calm, and I'm sure he's been through tizzies. Deadlines at the Tribune must be almost as exacting as the Indian Express. The Tribune is a little more laid back, if I can say so. But deadlines are deadlines. And anyone who lives with deadlines cannot afford to be calm at that time. Which brings me to what I want to say. That is that each of us is a split personality. A person who is into investigative journalism and can romanticize life at the same time or at different times in his life is a split personality. And that creative romantic which he is in the second part of his life is something which is really exciting. And many of us are like that. A creative romantic or a romantic creator. You're creating something, and that is something which brings out the fizz. That's something which brings out that Jan. And then someone like Ahan, I got your name right? Afan. Aapne galat bola tha. Acha, Afan, I'm so sorry. Afan, who's publishing poets, really doing a laudable job. Because let me tell you that many people cannot be published. They can't. They're not getting published enough. It's tough to find that publisher. So kudos to all of you, and Jupinderjit especially, I want to congratulate you, because it's you who is the originator of this creative art which has led to this evening taking place, and all of us being here. Thank you. And thank you very much. And please come out to the UT Guest House on Sunday at 10:30 a.m. Till about 2:30 p.m. And you'll enjoy it. Thank you. All the best. Thank you.
Could we have the guest of honors with the books? Rajendra, can we have some books, please? We'll have a group photo.
And we have many poets I can see who are my friends. Lily ma'am and Archana ma'am, everybody, Reni ma'am, everybody is a poet. Please come on stage and have this picture with us. Please, please join us. Please.
And last but not least, actually Jupinderjit, I have to say one thing, because I was saying to the press that I was flabbergasted, literally blown away when Nisha was actually reading that, and I know she actually said it on the press, on the Q&A, that I had to lower down the music. I never imagined that a man from a criminal investigative journalism, okay, could come up with poetry like that. Kudos to you, my friend. Thank you so much. It was lovely publishing with you. Congratulations from the narrators team. A big round of applause to Jupinderjit, please. Please. Thank you so much. And can we have that photograph, sir? Sir. Oh, sorry. You. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite and welcome Manraj Grewal, the editor of Indian Express. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here. The narrators welcomes you. Rivers Press welcomes you. Of course, Jupinderjeet.
Actually, I can see
I can see they're still there.
Actually, media also is on. When they say journalists, they focus. We have a lot of CLS photos.
Thank you so much, guys. That was the end of the evening. Please, come for the networking. Thank you so much for being there. You've been a lovely guest altogether. Cheers. Thanks a million. You can also buy a book outside with our staff there. So, do buy a silent conversation.